Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Stay Gold channel. Here to talk about a current release. Back in the theaters, got some new movies coming out. Feels good. This time we're talking M. Night's new one, Knock at the Cabin. Directed by M. Night, written by him with a few other people credited. Got Steve Desmond, Michael Sherman, and it's based on a book called The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. So not just M. Night taking a stab at the script this time, which is probably for the better, I'd say, but yeah, I don't know. It's been a couple days since I've seen this one, so it's not as fresh, but I still got some stuff to say. But what did you guys think about this one?
This is probably the best thing M. Night has done in a hot second.
Wow, nice.
I mean, this was a perfectly solid movie. I left it feeling like no frustration or like anything negative to say about it. I was like, this is fine. I mean, he shot the hell out of it. That was really good, but also like super contained, simple concept story that's just right up my alley in terms of, nihilistic with I guess a little bit of up in the end, but overall I just really enjoyed it. It was just a good time, good 100 minutes of contained action and suspense and good drama.
Yeah, yeah. I think I had a pretty good time with this too. It wasn't like my favorite of his, but considering my last experience with Old and being pretty let down by that one, yeah, this one was like it felt like a step up. And I was pretty impressed. Like the writing wasn't too bad, and I was pretty impressed with all the performances, all the characters.
Yeah.
That's some cool theming and stuff going on with it. So not my favorite, but not bad either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really reach the upper levels of M. Night's movies for me, like his prestige stuff.
Yeah.
But it's in the upper half of his filmography that I've seen, I'd say. And to me, it's like almost kind of a companion piece to Old, it feels like slightly. It's kind of some stuff there. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like you age all in one day. You have to kill your significant other or get murdered in one day. It's all like one very contained role. I don't like the colors even kind of like felt like that to me, like green and brown with Knock at the Cabin and the blue and the tan with Old. It was, I don't know, there's something like pastel-y here that was like a companion piece for me, but and
Really?
it
I
felt
would
like
say
two
the
like
companion
COVID
piece-
movies too, kind of like back to back kind of
Yeah.
for him.
It felt more like a companion movie to Signs, to be honest, but
Just like belief and all the end of the
Yeah.
world type.
yeah.
The Four Horsemen, all that good nonsense.
Yeah, I would say the
Yeah.
writing is probably the weakest of this, just because, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The source material, I think I just got the book on Audible because I had an extra credit, so I just want to check it out because I know he differs from the end of the book because the book's a little bit more nihilistic and doom and gloom, and he kind of had an uplifting ending, if you would call
Kind
it
of
that.
Ish.
But
Yeah.
I think in terms of M. Night's movies, at least his recent movies, this is one of his better written ones. So there's that. But really, the highlight was just, I don't know, the blocking and how it was shot. It was just,
Yeah.
I don't know, super good. Felt really fresh.
Yeah, there was some fun. Like I remember remarking just on the opening and like how I really loved the like intimate,
Mm-hmm.
extreme close-ups between Batista and the little girl, and I was like, this just makes for like awesome tone for like intimate character to character dialogue.
Like
it was, like,
each
really
shot
cool.
slowly pushed in a little farther, and it got like they slowly started to twist, in the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great opening. I mean, they kind of just throw you in right away, like something's wrong right away. Something's off.
Yeah.
There's somebody watching.
I also think right. I think like upon if I were to rewatch this too and watch that again, it feels like that space is meant to be like, okay, like you're in, like the two characters kind of like build. That's like their moment of building trust, right? For at least for Dave Bautista's character, it's like we have this like intimate thing, like they they have each other's confidence, and then they go into this like shitty world saving ending
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, it's all downhill
which
from
I-
there. I mean,
Right. And it's like, damn, you want like these things to like get through, like when they are convincing, even though it sounds crazy, like they're convincing people and characters. What they're
Right.
saying is, they're just humans. So it's like, you want that like to come through some way. Like we want them to get there sooner rather than later, which is kind of cool. Like it puts this whole movie is on like a the nice little like time stamp thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but,
Some
I didn't like hold that against it either.
some of the gripes I have for this movie do kind of come in its rushed nature for me. They
I think the
do
writing suffers from that a
they
little bit.
set they set the stakes pretty easily and like quickly. I mean, it's like right when they bust in the door, they're like, "We gotta hurry, guys! Come on, let's go!" Like,
Yeah.
so you really don't have time to kind of like get your bearings of the whole movie. Um, and like the deaths, they're kind of like build it up, knock it down, build it up, knock it down type,
Mhm.
where it just kind of feels like by the numbers we're kind of just hitting checkpoints a little bit in this movie. I kind of wanted a little more nuance in the journey to the end, and I have actually laid out what I believe to be a better story with the four characters that they gave us in this, but um, it wasn't like a total like loss or like failure. It just I wanted more on the journey, kind of.
I felt similarly like coming out. I was like, it was cool, like it was good premise and like it was executed pretty well, but I was still like hungrier for like I don't know, more lore or like more
A little
I
more
don't know,
meat.
intense character, yeah, like moments or something. I don't know. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
just a little. I was still.
I did like the lore drops that they had. One with the planes dropping out of the sky, literally. I mean that kind of felt like a little signsy shot there for me, with the home footage,
Mm-hmm.
a little throwback to that. But with Rupert Grint's character, Redmond, I liked how they put that little mysticism element in there where he actually is the guy in the bar. And it kind of just adds this level of like, what is, like, I wanted more. I wanted to question more if these people were telling me the truth or not, because right away I kind of just believed them. Like I was like, there's no way that these four people are just going to get together willingly because they're so different. Like, unless they're having these visions.
Yeah.
So I kind of believed him right away, and then, I mean, spoilers, I guess, but twist at the end is that there really like isn't a twist. You know what I mean? So they were just telling you the truth the whole time. So
it was a cool setup because like with the redhead's character, that we find out it was him, but we're kind of like, oh, is it actually him, or is this guy just thinking that they're being targeted because they're a homosexual couple? But the way they set it up at the beginning, when little girl says, "Oh, my two dads," and you could just see Batista's face, like, "Oh shit, now they're not gonna believe us. They're gonna think we're targeting them because
it's a lot harder now. Like,
yeah."
So
that was a cool setup, and it was, I don't know.
I mean, very good setup.
Yeah.
I think I came out of this movie like respecting M. Night even more, honestly, because that man just makes like very concept-driven movies. And I mean, he's a good filmmaker, like you said. There's good camera work. There's good blocking. There's always like one little twisty shot, like that he's tossing in there somewhere. And I mean, his like movies are still like marketable enough to draw like a decent crowd. There wasn't like a lot of it was a pretty decent theater when I was there. So it did okay over the weekend, but it's just, I mean, I respect him. I kind of like what he does. So
yeah, I mean, he's just pumping out movies every 18 months.
Yeah,
Keep coming.
Respectable budgets too. I mean, this is like you can tell how cheap this movie is, not in a bad way, but like it's very like a few locations, flashback locations, and then the cabin, and then I mean, he does it right. He's gonna make a return, I'm assuming. So he's still a good filmmaker.
And this is self-produced, I'm pretty sure, like his own production company. So
he's doing it right. I do agree that Rupert Redmond, that character, deserved way more of the spotlight. I mean, he only had one real moment to shine, and that's right before he gets killed, where he's like talking about, "Don't look away, I'm fucking scared." Like I was like, there we go. But he was dispatched way too quick. I mean,
I had the thought that if he wasn't killed off sooner, then they would have gotten to the conclusion of that they're telling the truth sooner. You know what I mean? Like, because he was like the one who's like, they're not gonna fucking believe us. Like, why would they? Like, we're crazy. Like, we look crazy to them. Like, and they kill him off quick. And he's like that voice of doubt, but also like that weird voice of reason too. It's like, well, of course they wouldn't believe. Like, this it's stupid and crazy. Yeah. So like, it makes sense that they would kill him off sooner. But yeah, I'm the same boat. I wish we had gotten more of him. Might have just made that more interesting for him to hang around and like sow those seeds more.
I actually thought about it. I wrote it down here. Like, I like you gave those four characters, and they're not bad characters. I just think that the way you like dispatched them was not servicing the movie personally. Like, and I think this was Batista's best role,
For sure.
acting role. It's I just wasn't like actually seeing bad acting in this role, which is good, which compared to his other roles. I mean, that's just me, but. So I think he was very good in this movie, but I think that Dave Bautista should have died first, personally. Like, I think this huge dude, like, surrendering control immediately and, like, sacrificing himself to show that this, like, power imbalance is there because he believes it all. Because then it also leaves, like, a power imbalance in the three people that are still there because their most powerful member is gone now. Like, and they kind of have to, like, scramble with each other now a little more because Dave Bautista is maintaining control the whole movie. You know, like... It doesn't ever change.
Sheer presence.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking 6 foot tall monster, like teaching little kids in school.
Right.
But yeah, I think if he went first, it would be a little better. Because then the nurse, I think she was one of the better actors in this movie. But I think as the next step, she would probably go like she's the next leader position, kind of like rational, and then you take her out of the picture. Because the young mother, I thought, had a little more fruit to the character, and she didn't really get to show it. Like, she's very torn. She's like the only character that has like someone back home that needs them with her son. So like you don't really get to see her kind of feel that push and pull of wanting to leave or wanting to know if this is real or not. Like, so when the doctor's like running from the gun, when he finally gets the gun out of the car, if this was the young mother and she decides to run and like, I'm going to leave and go back to my son type, like, she's like, there's a little more drama there, a little more conflict within that character, and then the audience is deciding. So then she runs back and gets shot, like deciding she's back or whatever. I mean, you could still have that beat with that character. With then Redmond, the most interesting character to me, ending the whole story. One, I mean, he's the most unhinged, so he's the hardest to believe, which makes the more conflict in your story.
He's the archetype of wrath, right? He's like the meant to be that guy. Malice. That's right.
And like him sacrificing himself is like a true, I mean, it's right away, but like at the end, I think it'd be more powerful to show that this man is like this down the road of belief that he will kill himself. Like, and you get to have like more conflict and bounce with the main characters, like you were saying, with like the gay themes and like the gay persecution undertones in this. Like, you needed that character who was in the bar to kind of climax that whole message to me. I don't know. So it could have provided a little more closure and mysticism to this like bar incident that set off this belief chain. Yeah. I don't know, but that's just I just like I was like reworking the characters in my mind after the movie, and I was like, this feels so much better. But maybe that's just me.
I don't think that would have been bad. I said kind of the same when I walked out. I wanted the nurse lady to go first, and then the cook, and then Rupert. Is his name Rupert or something?
Rupert Grint.
Yeah, and then Batista. I still had Batista dying last just because, I don't know.
I mean, I like that character. I like his journey to the end where he's like that full presence the whole time where, you know, he's always down the path. He never really falters off the path. Like, that's fine, but it didn't provide for like the most dramatic movie for me, you know, like, so.
Makes sense, for sure.
What about that M. Night cameo?
The fried chicken.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was one of the only like moments of like levity I felt in that movie too. I couldn't really name any moments of like comedy, you know, like little dips.
Yeah.
It's a very serious, very one-tone movie too, also, I'd say.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch M. Night's movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's much more genuine and just straight up better than 50% of the movies like that are getting made today.
For fucking sure.
Yeah, true.
You can tell he just loves film. I mean, bottom line,
right?
He's had a passion for it, so for sure, there for it.
He's pretty good at it too. Like, I forgive him for old. Don't get me wrong. I have my gripes.
That bad, yeah. We
that
do
bad.
have some other ones in the movie chest though. The Last Airbender and Lady in the Water. Those are the real stinkers, I hear. So.
Yeah, Last Airbender hurts my soul a little bit.
Watching The Last Airbender as a kid, I watched it quite a bit, and I honestly didn't have problems with it. But I haven't watched it as an adult, but I also haven't watched the animated. So
that's probably the problem.
That's why it hurts my soul. because the animated. But
It was stimulating when I was a kid, so I guess I was okay with it.
I was looking at his filmography, and it's like, holy shit, man, this guy was popping. And then it's like Last Airbender, The Happening, like The Village, like Lady in the Water. It's like, wow, this guy took a dip, and now he's like kind of like climbing back out now.
I landed on a initial reaction was 3, and then I bumped it up to 3.5 a couple days later. So
Mhm.
it's in that area,
Nice.
yeah. For me,
I was thinking about it. I was like thinking 3.5, and then I was like, I don't know. I just feel like it deserves 4 because I can't think of anything that I had to complain about besides the fact that I wanted more on the redheaded guy. But other than that, I was just like, I just really enjoyed this movie. Oh.
yeah. Same.
I gave it 3, but I do think this movie is better than Old. So like I think
Sure.
Old is 3 stars for me too. So I'll probably give her a boost up. But
But yeah, overall, pretty good. M. Night's might be back. Might be back with some bangers.
yeah, we'll see what he's got next. See if he goes back to the twist formula, because this one was like the anti M. Night.
Yeah.
Honestly, I liked
gotcha.
it more that way.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Twists get old,
Yeah.
especially with his
Just makes-
movies, because you're just waiting the whole movie for the twist, and then
Right.
I don't know, when the twist sucks, it's like, well, this movie fucking sucks. So
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Just makes for a more solid piece, solid movie.
Yeah. Well, guys, like and subscribe. Check out our other videos if you want.
yeah,
See you on the next one.
stay gold.
The 4 of us are here to prevent the apocalypse. Your family has been chosen to make a horrible decision. If you fail to choose, the world will end.